Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network with Donald Eng. I'm Rob Adams. We've got baseball later on today. Believe it or not, and I did not expect the opportunity to come up for this game, Norwalk and Trinity Catholic down at Cubetta Stadium, famed Cubetta Stadium that doesn't really host a lot of high school baseball these days, so I'm pretty excited to go do a game there. Last time I did a game there, in fact, I believe it was the 2003 Babe Ruth National Championship game.
Wow.
So it's been a long
old
time.
School.
Yeah, really old school game. A team out of Texas, a tri-county team from Texas won that national championship back in '03.
That's like this is like when Pete Rose can tell you the circumstances of every single hit he ever got. Rob can tell you the weather, everything. You know who was on the mound, what the final count was.
It was kind of akin to our 15 games in 5 days experience last summer over in Trumbull. But in any event, we've got some goodies to get to today. A couple of interviews as well, including one with the Trinity Catholic baseball team as we get set for that baseball game. We'll also speak with Greenwich and Ridgefield in advance of their game tomorrow in boys lacrosse that we'll also have here on the HAN Network. 3 games to begin the week, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Baseball on Wednesday, in fact. And then we will have a doubleheader in lacrosse on Saturday at Ridgefield High School. But Don, it's been a few days. How are you?
It has been a few days. I'm doing good. I'm feeling cultured. Got to check out the Yale Art Museum yesterday. It's been a nice, relaxing weekend, and now we get back to it with all sorts of things. Monroe, sports, history. Always a busy week.
Always a busy week. I agree. And spring, really the busiest season of them all because you're compacting so many games into just a short amount of time. And these are sports that can be canceled due to inclement weather, which we thought today might be the case, but so far it doesn't appear like it's going to be.
It's holding off. And now that you mentioned Cubetta Stadium, now I'm trying to think of the last time I was there. I think it was 1995 because former Norwalk coach Angelo Bruno hit a ball out of it.
Really?
That's what I remembered. It's funny because he's not a big guy, but he had that Mattingly-esque torque to his swing, and boy. That ball might still be going. I don't think they ever found it.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking of coaches, we've got more coaching, I don't want to say madness, but another Wilton situation has come up. Of course, we know what happened with Freya Coombe, the girls soccer coach a few weeks ago who ultimately resigned, and as we all know, there was a lot going on there, Don. But now the hockey coach has stepped down.
Yes, Brett Amaro, the 11-year veteran coach of the Wilton boys hockey program, has stepped down. He said, there were in his comments to Tim Murphy, you can read him on the WiltonBulletin.com website. There were many, many reasons that led to this very difficult decision to resign. Amaro said it was not what my heart wanted to do. So. I don't really know what to make of that, other than the fact that he was reluctant, and apparently he may have wanted to stay on.
There's more to it than that. Later down in Tim Murphy's story on WiltonBulletin.com, and I read this the other day, in fact, during our lacrosse coverage, the tip of the iceberg is what made this decision to resign difficult. The reason for my resignation lies with the many peripheral components of coaching that lie below the sea. That's a very telling statement to me.
It is, but like I said, it's I've read his comments, and it certainly appears that there were other things going on. As always with these things, you never really know what the other side would say. And also, I hate to kind of, as he's resigning reluctantly. It does bear mentioning that Amaro's teams in 11 seasons, 83 wins, 142 losses, 6 ties, and Wilton is coming off a 2-17-1 record. So I mean that's, I hate to bring it up, but unfortunately, when you have a coach that's resigning, one of the things that we always do is not as much with high school coaches as with professional coaches, but wins and losses do matter, and unfortunately for Amaro, the results not quite where any of them would have wanted them to be.
That is true. 2-17-1, is not obviously a very good record, but is it a question of not having the players? Is it a question of not having the feeder program that so many towns have? Wilton normally very good for sports in a lot of ways. Hockey has been very up and down for several years now. Where is the problem? Or or are we seeing players go off to prep schools, which is certainly an issue, although we're 2 years in a row now we have seen a public school go and win the Division I title, which had not happened in a long time. was the Fairfield Prep Show for a long time, but now Darien, back-to-back championships. So where's the issue here? And again, is this another case of parental influence, parental interference? Is that the problem? I still think the girls' soccer situation circles around the parents, and I know that's not going to be a popular thing to hear over in Wilton, but that's the way I'm calling it as I see it.
Right. I mean that you know, and it's hard to tell because, like I said, these situations, you know, they don't really publicly disclose whatever might have been going on, whatever part of the iceberg lies beneath the water. I know there have been some letters. There were some letters to the editor, or a letter that I'm thinking of,
yes,
about the Wilton situation that sort of kind of argued against parents, but then again, you don't know how much stock to put in a single letter to the editor from a former player. In this case, I will also point out that while we're talking about that, there is a couple of comments on the Wilton Bulletin website following the story. Kevin O'Connell, this is an absolute shame. Let's see, this is an absolute shame. O'Connell went on to say, some of the best times in my life were spent with Coach Amaro and the rest of the Wilton hockey community, teaching, competition, commitment, drive, togetherness, cornerstones of the program. And then commenter Fran Bell said, from what I hear, these men have made decades of positive differences in young men's life within the community. No matter what it costs to support the program, it's an investment well worth making. So some pretty strong words of support for Coach Amaro.
15 years overall, 11 as head coach. And look, obviously there can be other extenuating circumstances, but he didn't seem to lay them out here. If you're stepping away for your family, you often say you're stepping away for your family, be it to watch your kids grow up or whatever, or you just don't have the drive or commitment. There's a lot of open to interpretation here.
There really is. I mean, the obvious thing that I looked at was the record, which you know, with the exception of about a 4-year run where Wilton was in the state playoffs every year, actually 4 years out of 5. You know, the results certainly weren't there. Like you've mentioned, is it coaching? Is it lack of feeder program? Is it kids leaving to go to private schools? Is it just that, you know, that Wilton just might not be a hockey town? I mean, there's something to be said for all of those things. You know, he didn't say why he was leaving, other than to say that there were things that he didn't want to say. So that kind of always opens the door to speculation.
I agree. I thought Wilton was a bit of a hockey town. You know, Tom Fujitani, the now, you know, the late football coach there, was also a hockey coach at the very foundation of that hockey program. So I thought there was more of a hockey edge to Wilton. I think there has been. But for whatever reason, right now, you know, 2-17-1 indicates that it's certainly a downtime.
Right. And as I mentioned, the highlight of the Amaro era was the 2009 through 2012 season, where Wilton got to the state semis in 2011 and losing to the eventual champion. Also got to the state quarters in 2010 and 2012. Again, both times losing to the eventual state champ.
So certainly a difficult situation. And again, to me, it cycles around to whether it's reality in Wilton in terms of soccer or hockey. I do think that parents have become probably a bigger issue than ever.
Well, I mean, that could be. I mean, you know, I mean, obviously I don't know. I've never been a coach, so I couldn't tell you what parents were like 20, 30 years ago versus what they're like now. Certainly with social media and online, and anyone can dash off an email now. I mean, really, is there more access to educators? There probably is. I mean, you know, on my phone I have an app where I can talk directly to my daughter's teachers, and you know, and I don't use it very often, but I don't use it never. And to the best of my recollection, you know, my parents would have been on the never side as far as you know, talking to the teachers on a day-to-day basis. So clearly there is more access to the higher levels of you know, of athletics in this day and age. And does it have an influence with the boards of ed and the administrations? I suspect it probably does, but I just don't know how much.
So that's where we stand with the Wilton situation. Again, certainly frustrating to see what seems like good coaches stepping down for whatever reasons. And, you know, at the end of the day, these athletes do look up to these coaches. They do look up to that leadership. You know, athletes want leadership. They need it. And certainly they can guide a team themselves. Captains are wonderful leaders, but you still have to have that person at the head of the team. And for Wilton, they have to start over at least with 2 of their teams. Yes,
certainly with the soccer team and with the boys hockey team. I believe the top assistant also has left. And we've been focusing on the head man there, but there were actually two coaches. The Amaro and his top assistant have both resigned from the program. So definitely, going to be a coaching search on in Wilton.
We will take a break here on Nutmeg Sports. When we come back, we'll have some interviews for you from the HAN Cruiser, the HAN Network Tour as we toured the FCAC. So that and more as we roll on for a Monday edition of Nutmeg Sports right here on the HAN Network.
Here at the Darien Sports Shop, we are very excited about our newly redesigned men's department. Gentlemen, if you're shopping for work, weekend, or wedding, we've got the latest styles and trends inside our spacious new department just for you. We have vast selections from Peter Millar, Vineyard Vines, Johnny O, Duckhead, Barber, and so much more. And you can even walk out of the store in the new Wolverine 1,000-mile men's boot. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
Can't wait for it to get warmer so you can start fishing again? Get over to the Dock Shop, where they have the latest in fishing tackle, marine electronics, boating supplies, and more. But remember, the Dock Shop isn't your average tackle shop. You'll also find the finest selection of nautical apparel, jewelry, home decor, and gifts in New England. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky. Join us for Coffee Break, weekdays at 11 to get the latest Connecticut news, weather, high school sports, and more. News doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break on the HAN Network. The HAN Network is the leader in local broadcasting in Fairfield and Westchester counties. We reach tens of thousands of viewers via our live news, sports, and entertainment broadcasting. We can create your advertisement and broadcast it through our programming to one of the most affluent markets in the United States. And remember, our broadcasting is live, which means viewers cannot skip or click past your marketing message. And we measure our audience and their demographics on every broadcast. To advertise on the HAN Network, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network. It is indeed a Monday edition here on the program. I'm Rob Adams, Donald Eng over there. We have baseball coming up at 4 o'clock, but we're going to hit the kind of the rewind machine, going back to the FCAC Tour for a couple of the interviews we did. First in this interview package, you will see the Trinity Catholic Crusaders baseball team, whom we will have at 4 o'clock today against the Norwalk Bears. After that, you will see both the Greenwich Cardinals and Ridgefield Tigers boys lacrosse programs. That is tomorrow's broadcast, 4 o'clock tomorrow over in Ridgefield. But now, let's start with Trinity Catholic. A break after that, and then Don and I return for more. So enjoy these interviews on Nutmeg Sports. We're with the baseball team at Trinity Catholic High School. I'm Rob Adams as the FCAC Tour rolls on the HAN Network. We'll let these guys introduce themselves and we'll talk about baseball. We'll start right here. Who are you?
I'm Dylan Dane.
See, you did it fine.
John Hazard.
Dan Bernard.
We were having some fun with them off the air about how they were going to introduce themselves. All right, handled it well. Dylan, first of all, I said to you off the air, heading to Bard College. It's a beautiful area up there. Congratulations on that. What made you decide to go there?
Well, academically, it's a great school. That hooked me. But also, it's a great opportunity for me to get some early playing time. It's a new baseball program, only 4 years of NCAA baseball, so I'm very excited.
Good for you. And, John, you're heading to a college as well. Where are you going?
High Point University.
Very good. Congratulations on that. Tell me about, let's spend just a moment on last year's team because you guys had a great ride. Take me through that experience.
It was great. Playing with all those guys and getting to see them, being on the team for 3 years, getting to see them grow up it was a great experience. And last year was definitely the best part of it.
Dan, I remember you guys very well at Harbor Yard, and a fun ride there for all of you for this team. And we move forward to this year. Where you guys fit in the conference this year?
We should be pretty good contenders. We have a young team, so we're going to try our best and just see how it goes. Hopefully make states and FCX and hopefully go as far as we can.
What's the strength of this team? You guys defensive-minded? You good offensively? Can you pitch? Is there a strength?
Well, defensively, it shows at practice because we only had 2 scrimmages, so all our young kids are getting used to varsity pitching. But defensively, we're a very good team, and we're going to look to use that as one of our strengths.
Is there a particular game you guys look at on the schedule and say, oh, yeah, we want this one?
Midway through April, we have our games against West Hill and Stanford High back-to-back, and those are always big games for us, so we're really excited for those.
Absolutely true. And do you have a particular goal in mind, personal or team goal that you're thinking about?
Just probably make states and cities. That's our biggest goal because they're easiest probably competition this year with the young team.
Well, city championship always means a lot to all these teams here in Stamford, and good luck to you guys. You got a heck of a good coach who's lingering around here, so have a great season and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
All right. We thank the baseball team for coming out and visiting us here on the HAN Network. We're with the So much gets talked about in terms of lacrosse about Darien, New Canaan, but let's not forget the Greenwich Cardinals as we come to you from Greenwich High School. So I'm not just saying it for the obvious reasons on the HAN Network. I'm Rob Adams. Let these guys introduce themselves and we'll find out why this team and this program is so good. We'll start right here. Who are you?
Michael Sands.
Callan Smith.
Will Perry.
And Scooter Harrington.
Scooter, good job with the microphone. All right, start with Michael over here. First of all, you like to cook and eat. I like this fun fact. What do you cook?
Anything you want. I like to think of myself as a culinary aficionado. Thank you.
Very good. Well done. What makes this team so good?
We have a lot of offensive firepower, and me, Perry, Scooter, we all played last year together. We have a lot of chemistry together, so we're excited for this year.
All right, and you're heading to Lafayette. Congratulations. Yeah. All right, we move over now to Callan and Skidmore. What made you want to go there?
Well, I really looked for a school that offered the academic side, and then I also wanted a more small kind of campus-based environment. So when I was looking around, it was really a standout school to me.
As I said when I started, so much about Darien, New Canaan, even Wilton, some other schools that think they are lacrosse powerhouses. You guys are as well. Where do you guys see yourselves fitting in?
Well, we always see ourselves as one of the top contenders. You know, we made it to the FCX 2 years ago. Last year we had kind of a letdown at the end of the season, but we still had a really good regular season. So really, we see ourselves up there with them, and we can compete. It's just coming out, having the effort, practicing strong, and then coming to play.
We're recording many of these interviews right around March Madness, and as I look at Will's college, probably has a smile on his face for a good reason. Where are you going to go to school?
I'm headed to North Carolina.
There we go. We'll let Scooter jump in there. UNC. And obviously having a good time in March Madness. What made you choose to go there?
Well, I just love the campus, the school, and everything. They've always been a good lacrosse firepower school, but obviously the academics there are tremendous. So I took that advantage to my use, and that was why.
And you also have a little food note for us. What do you like to eat?
Bacon, egg, and cheeses.
How many do you eat?
Too many.
All right, we'll move over to Scooter now. And, of course, we've talked to you a bunch of times, Scooter, and you're heading off to a pretty good school as well. Tell me where you're going.
Yeah, I'm going to Stanford to play football, so I'm looking forward to it.
Obviously, congratulations on that. Tell me about your role here on this lacrosse team.
Right now, as seniors, all of us, we're just trying to kind of set the tone. We have new coaches here. And just kind of develop chemistry with the underclassmen. We're definitely underclassmen laden this year. We have a lot of underclassmen, but they're really talented. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them step up.
How tough is it to adjust to a new coach? Is there a style adjustment that you need to kind of address?
I think Coach Lentz has been really good, just kind of easing us into it. And I think we're getting a lot of reps in practice. And I'm really looking forward to our first game this Saturday.
Is there a particular game that, besides Saturday, is there a particular game you find yourself saying, oh, I can't wait for that one?
Yes, Ridgefield.
Really? Why Ridgefield?
Ridgefield took us out of the race last year in FCX and the States, so we're excited to play them again.
And that's a great piece of promotional material provided, because guess what game we have on our calendar here on the HAN Network? Greenwich and Ridgefield. And are you all looking forward to, is that big? Really? For some reason I thought you'd all say Darien to me, but really, Ridgefield, that's great. That's going to be a fun. And we saw you a couple of years against Ridgefield. I think it went 4 overtimes. I think that game might still be going on. So should be a big year for you guys, and best of luck. Have some fun out there.
Thank you.
Great to talk with these guys. It's the lacrosse team, the boys lacrosse team here at Greenwich High School. It's the home of the Cardinals on the HAN network. We're with the boys lacrosse team at Ridgefield High School with Tim Murphy. I'm Rob Adams. We're just outside of Tiger Hollow, Lancaster Field to be exact, where these guys will play their home games throughout the season. So we will talk to them and see what's going on. We'll start right here. What's your name?
Peter Dirth.
Chase Levesque.
Peter, you've given me a fun fact that absolutely has fascinated me. You like to watch something. What?
I'm a big SpongeBob fan. Specifically, the Bubble Bowl episode. It's a great pregame ritual. Its whole theme is about victory, so it really just gets me excited to play. And I don't know, I always like to watch it before big games.
That's hysterical. What kind of team is this, and what are your expectations this year?
We're looking really good this year. You know, we graduated some really great players, but there's a lot of depth in the younger guys, which we were really surprised about. And I think a lot of guys just worked really hard, and we're excited.
Will you guys see Darien again as the team to beat?
Yeah, you know, we're always ready to compete with them. They're going to be a big contender this year like they were last year, but it'll come down to who can execute better in the long run. So I think we'll have a great chance.
Yeah, I mean, you had 2 great battles with them last year, including the state finals, but you lost a lot of firepower. Are you worried about goal production?
Yeah, that's kind of what we need to work on this year. Our defense is really strong, though, so we can push the ball more transition goals for us. But I think some people are stepping up, the young guys, with Peter's kind of taking them under his wing and kind of teaching them the ropes.
Besides Darien, Peter, is there a particular game that you're looking forward to on the calendar?
Well, I mean, we got actually a really hard schedule this year. I would say Garden City will be a fun one, hosting the Battle of the Sound tournament. And obviously the other big FCIAC teams, New Canaan, Greenwich, Staples. But and we also host Brunswick. That'll be a fun one. Tough game last year, but I'm sure we could do better this year.
In fact, programming note, we will have the Battle of the Sound right here on the HAN network. We will be here for that. And also, you've committed to Syracuse, and I would imagine as we film this today, you're kind of excited about what's going on with the Syracuse Orange.
Yeah, they got a big game tomorrow against Notre Dame, so I just can't wait to get up there. It's a great program, and I couldn't be happier to be playing college lacrosse there.
Of course, college basketball looking pretty good as well. So, March
Peter,
Madness.
I think you committed to Syracuse when you were in 4th grade. It seems like so long ago. But
yeah, it's been a while.
And Chase, you're going to play at BU?
Yeah.
With Peter's brother.
Yeah. He'll be a senior next year. It'll be good to have someone on the team that I know.
Well, best of luck to both of you. Like I said, we've got you on the schedule for a couple of broadcasts, so have a great season. We'll see you out there, and thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Nice to see these guys talking boys lacrosse at Ridgefield High School on the HAN network. With the boys lacrosse.
Had a sports injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or go to coastalorthoexpress.com. That's coastalorthoexpress.com. Like them on Facebook.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your time-saving local shopping destination for the best of spring. Find many of your favorite products, from great specials on everyday items to the freshest organic produce, artisanal cheeses, and grass-fed steaks. Drop off your knives to be sharpened, grab a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers, and stop in next door for a wine tasting. Plus, their personable staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. So stop in to Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street today, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
For over 25 years, Mike Cizik Painting and Wallpapering has been the name to know for residential and commercial properties in Fairfield County. He uses only the top brands, including Benjamin Moore, for impeccable preparation and lasting quality. Call Mike now and receive $500 off any job over $7,000. Mike is currently accepting reservations for spring, so call him today at 203-770-8869 or 203-972-3310. For your custom painting, finishing, and staining needs, it's Mike Cizik.
Denali is your outdoor retail destination in the Westfield Trumbull Mall. For the last 21 years, we have carefully selected clothing, footwear, and gear from a variety of the best outdoor brands, such as the North Face, Patagonia, Vineyard Vines, UGG, Merrell, GoPro, New Balance, and many more. Our stores have a friendly, knowledgeable staff to help you with all of your running, hiking, and cold weather needs, and in discovering all things outdoorsy and awesome. Visit us in the Westfield Trumbull Mall or online at DenaliOutdoor.com.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune in to Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
Back with you on Nutmeg Sports for a Monday edition on the HAN Network. Rob Adams, Donald Eng, glad you're along with us. Back with you tomorrow, of course, for another program. Expecting to speak with the official historian. I don't even think Don knows this. This is going to be exciting for Don. The official historian of Major League Baseball, John Thorne, is scheduled to join us tomorrow because it turns out, and this story kind of broke last week, this has been hanging around for a little while, that one of the founding fathers of modern day baseball is not who we thought it was. It is a man named Doc Adams, of all things. And Doc Adams lived in Ridgefield, Connecticut.
Wow.
So we've got the Connecticut connection.
It's like 4 degrees of separation there.
Isn't it? I mean, it's great stuff. I knew it had to be in my family somewhere. But we are expected to have John Thorne with us tomorrow. I'm really excited to dig a little more into this story. I mean, the papers that they have found of Doc Adams are basically being called the Magna Carta of baseball. It's that important.
The Dead Sea Scrolls of baseball.
That is it. So he basically mapped out modern day baseball.
That's remarkable. I mean, obviously, there's the, as we always know, there's always the legend versus the fact, and generally legends win out. But that's really exciting. I am definitely looking forward to that.
So there you go. Now you can look into the Doc Adams story to kind of get it.
What do you think I'm doing right now?
I figured as much. And yeah, there was a Ridgefield connection. Tim Murphy called me yesterday and said, hey, do you want
to talk to the founder of baseball?
Yeah, I don't know if you know that there's a local connection to this story. And oh, by the way, we can get the official historian. So of course, for those who know me, I know AJ Simonowski's sitting there going, Rob's head exploded, and that's about correct. And by the way, let me take this opportunity to officially apologize to AJ because I did not refer to him as such on Coffee Break this morning. So my humble apologies, sir.
And by the way, speaking of the legendary baseball beginnings, tomorrow is April 12th, which is the anniversary of the Battle of Fort Sumter. The first shot fired in defense of the Union was touched off by a certain Captain Abner Doubleday.
There you go, who they say had nothing to do with the game of baseball, might have never even been to a game. Yet we go to his field and broadcast a game from there last April.
It's still the highlight of Rob's summer. That was.
Oh, please!
No, seriously. It's and baseball is one of those things that lends itself to like, kind of like these mythical beginnings. I tend to think because it was so popular on the radio and because basketball and football are more television sports, people grew up listening to baseball on the radio. You couldn't see it, so you kind of had these ideas in your head that you created, and I tend to think it lends itself more toward legends that way.
And it was the original radio sport for sure, going all the way back to August of 1920 with the very first broadcast on KDKA in Pittsburgh, and then the first World Series, and on and on and on, building right on through. So and then baseball became a TV sport officially in 1939. So there you have it. There's your history lesson for the day. Speaking of baseball around the FCAC, the Greenwich Cardinals would love to play baseball. According to the standings, they are 0-0. That tells you what the weather has been like. It took Ridgefield a long time to get their season going. They have played now. They're 2-0 on the year. So just a few of the news and notes as we look at the standings early on.
Right. The April weather in New England, always an adventure. The only thing you hate to see is that when you have to compress the schedule, what does that do to the team's pitching? But hopefully they'll be able to start getting some games in, starting with today.
And the defending FCAC champion, Wilton Warriors, 3-1 to start the year. So maybe not so much the down year that people were thinking for them.
Yeah, I mean, certainly it's they haven't really gotten into the heart of conference play yet, but they have looked good so far. Particularly as we've been going on with the FCAC SCC Challenge, those games continuing. So a lot of things happening on the diamond this week.
And it's going to be on the diamond. We'll be on the diamond later in the week as well. We'll have it today for you, as we said, Norwalk and Trinity Catholic. I'm excited to go to Cubetta. Like I said, haven't been there in a long time.
Yeah, it's a great place. It's a fun place. It's kind of like it's got a sense of it's got a presence to it. I always think is like when you go to Cubetta, it's like to a lesser extent than a place like Muzzy Field. When you're there, you kind of feel like you're at an event.
Muzzy Field. another favorite place of mine. Palmer Field is a good place to go check out a game and broadcast from. There are some decent Connecticut baseball stadiums on the smaller scale, but boy, I do love them. I love Muzzy Field. What a place.
I do love, I share the love of ancient ball yards. That's just, that's baseball.
And of course, Yale Field as well. If you've ever had a chance to broadcast a game from there, I have. That's a pretty cool experience.
Never broadcast from there. I had season tickets the year that Todd Helton was playing in AA, and I'm amazed that the opposing infielders actually survived the season.
Don, great show. We'll do it again tomorrow.
We will.
We'll be back with you tomorrow, as we said, expecting to have John Thorne, the official historian of Major League Baseball, join us. That could be a show right there. We'll see how much time we can get out of him, but that could be pretty good stuff. So looking forward to that. My thanks to AJ Simonowski, not Eric Gendron over there today. I said that on coffee break, but so it goes. Back with you tomorrow. Baseball, 4 o'clock today. For AJ, for Donald Eng, I'm Rob Adams. Thanks for watching Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network. Again, we'll see you from Cubetta Stadium in just a little while, but for now, have a good afternoon, everyone.